recording, and that's it, that's all started. Let's hope my machine doesn't do its usual trick. I don't know why it did it. It managed to switch itself off for no reason. Okay, so typical Windows machine decides it's going to play up and have no rhyme and reason. Oh, I have to also be very happy this week. I had an argument with someone online that said the next lots of Linux will be based on Rust, and he said no, it'll be JavaScript. I just read something, it's on Rust. Rust is the new C, and yet another computer language. It means they're changing its core and updating it, basically. And it's just nice to know, and I can't remember who I was arguing with, because I just want to, was it grind the person's thing? Is someone in second line, someone who has no idea what they're talking about. And on that note, we'll get back to what we were doing last time, which this is going to be a nasty shock for Mr. Larkin, because he wasn't there, was it? He missed half of what you got up to. It was I think a little scary, to say the least. I think it started off with a series of meetings, didn't it? Initially with a General von Falkenhausen on a Sunday.
Oh God, that guy.
That guy, yes. The one that originally gave you the dinosaur. The one that went into the upper crust with the German troops in another reality sort of thing. Yeah, of which if I remember rightly, you had the trying to hide and the telegram boy appeared. I remember that one. Go away! We don't. Yeah, he asked you about the attack on the villa. Was it the day before? Something to do with Beyond.
We asked him about it, and he didn't know anything about it.
No, he asked you, and he didn't know anything either about it, because it said he was saying it was Beyond Human, something to do with that LLC, and it involved German units of the Third Reich, and he said he doesn't know where these units were from, etc. I don't think you gave him a lot of information back, if I remember rightly.
No.
Yeah, you didn't mention the 10,000. No, it's actually the 1,000-year Reich to him. Yeah, you didn't tell him why the attack occurred. Then you had, I had forgotten about this one. Then you had, was it straight after Mr. Kursau, Professor Kursau of the Department of Paranormal Studies at Albany, was it University, coming and asking, and he was asking about the piglet, as in someone had told him it was of, paranormal nature.
Yeah.
And his department would be best placed to investigate the piglet, and would it be possible to give it to him? I think a mention of $20,000 was mentioned if you were to give it to him. Oh yes, and after that you didn't say a lot to the professor. I don't think you admitted you knew what the pig was, etc. You were very vague about the piglet itself and didn't say a lot. You were very cagey, to say the least. Then you had
people know stuff in general.
Yeah. You had the guy appear around the door. Didn't see me, was it Guy? Then you had a call from Marie saying that Mr. Smith wanted to see you in the Bull and Bush that day. And I think on the way there you had the little piglet again, and with a message. But I think it's on the. If you look on the role-playing channel, you should see the messages you got last time, which were various. Was it various things. What was it? Yeah, you went to.
We met Mr. Morningstar appeared in the pub as well.
Oh yeah, that was after you talked to to Major Smith, in which you updated him what was actually going on. I think you told him a lot more than you told the rest of the people.
We told Major Smith a lot.
Yeah, about the pig.
About the whole immortality. Yes, we did leave out the immortality.
You did, good, yeah. Oh yes, he said he would potentially get Mr. Bell sorted about delivering the pig, and it would take him 2 days. Basically said the pig's gone missing and you're sort of trying to find the piglet. Yeah, because people keep nicking it, etc. I think, did you tell him about the attack? I think you did, didn't you? That someone had sort of purloined the pig, or Dr. Armstrong had disappeared into the night.
Yeah, we literally told Major Smith everything, but we
Yeah.
left out
The immortality.
the pig is immortal.
Yeah, and then Mr. Morningstar appeared with the usual offer: if you give him his soul, he'll tell you where the piglet is, sort of thing, of which you politely refused. And Mr. Allegari had a slight slip at this point, and actually, without thinking, told the devil about the the fact that there's a possibility that the piglet could contain a drug of immortality or extending life, of which afterwards Franco was kicking himself, going, "Oh shit, he's done it again." That's what the devil does.
Yeah.
He did his usual. As he went outside, as he left, he killed someone by touching them. You left again with once again the pub in there was a disarray because someone had died. You had another piglet who gave you another message. Oh yes, you also got purloined by a certain number of dogs, including the Drakwasel, the Doberman, and the Poodle. Who basically in a familiar voice said, "We've asked for sausages, which you've chosen to ignore. You've sort of ignored us, yeah." So we yes, basically.
The sausage mafia.
That's the doggy mafia. Sort of threatened you? I think you went off to the upper crust at some point, weren't you? At this point, because you were going to ask because you were convinced, because of the attack, that a certain mafiosi guy had nicked the pig.
Right.
So you went to the upper crust and you talked to Bruno, the guy you talked to before, and got free pizza in the end of it. You told them about the attack. They seemed to have no idea what you were talking about at all.
We left on better terms than we went in though, so I feel that was productive.
Yeah, basically, if there's anything interesting, what happened, he'd be very happy to talk to you, if I remember rightly. And you didn't mention exactly the piglet about it, just that something happened at this place and there was an attack.
Right.
Then you had ended evening with a blue box going into the wall, and a Doctor Who coming down. I say not the time, basically. And Dalton, you showed pictures of the TARDIS to. I think you showed it to, and the new Black Doctor to Bartok. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting thing, because if Bartok comes back, discovers that they now was being chased by Nazis from the future, and you met a Doctor Who, who's a mythical figure, it gets even more interesting. Oh yeah.
Alien blog is getting even more diverse.
It is. It's getting very weird now. And the next, and I think nothing else happens that evening, as far as I know. And the next morning, you seem to find a note from the hotel in your room, which was sort of mystified you. I think it was saying you were supposed to meet someone. Go to Beyond LLC, where they wanted a quick talk with you. They basically. That's it, because they basically said we'd want the pig back. You never gave the pig to was it Mr. Bell, and for some reason they now want it back. I don't think they made it quite clear why they wanted it back, but it seems to be far too valuable. All they, I think, hinted at it was far too valuable to eat. So you have a sneaking suspicion they may know what's going on.
Yeah.
As you come out, you spoke to a Giovanni cab was waiting for you. Said you need to go and talk to Kanyan and Micho at Tokyo Delights. He wants to talk with you, of which you wander off and after another moon piglet. Well, you know what it is by now. Basically, he admits he was going to swap your pig, but didn't. He sold the item he got in Tokyo for, I think it was a cool $1 million, dollars. And he says he mentioned something about a Mr. Foot. To do with to do with the item, and I think he had contacted him about that. And as you left,
It seemed like he was very confused by it, like he wasn't remembering.
no, yeah, of course he was, wasn't he? But he was a little confused about what had gone on, which is not surprising.
He didn't. He also wasn't sure where he got his
information from. Yes.
Or the items that he sold in Tokyo. He was not sure where he
got them from.
received those.
Yes, that's true. He was very confused about that, but it was real in the end. So basically, in the end, his journey wasn't a wasted journey. In the end, he made a profit out of it. He didn't get. Mason Fitzpatrick's Bell face in the dirt, because he doesn't like him, because he thinks he's a bit of an arrogant prig, an annoying git. As you gathered, he's a TV chef of the worst ilk, the sort of the English guy does
Ramsay?
Gordon Ramsay, just infinitely worse. Yeah, infinitely worse, sort of thing. The anger monster, F's and blinds the people, sort of thing. And you had a message that the Major Smith has had a lead and wanted to see you at was it 7 o'clock? But he has a lead on the piglet. Which is, woohoo, you've finally got to the piglet. You think? Right, so we'll start at that point. It's about 2 in the afternoon. We're going to have to sort of fudge, James being there, but we can certainly do that. It's Al Najara after all. It could have just been in about.
Does Mr. Larkin have any questions? Because that was a lot.
That was a hell of a lot. Okay, I'll give you a few minutes to, if you want to ask any questions, Mr. Larkin. These guys.
So we don't have the pig currently?
Not at the moment, no.
Do we know who has it?
No.
We think that the scientist might still have it, but we've got to find him.
Yes.
Okay.
We've got to. We've also got to work out what we're going to do when we get it. Because
Yes.
I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but it's the sort of technology where you've got to be really careful about where it goes.
He'd been here
Yeah.
It
before.
has the potential to do a lot of good, but it has the potential to do a lot of harm as well. Or do we just let the pig go and let it run, live its best life on Almajara somewhere, like some sort of
That's that's what I'm sort of inclined to. I now, as much as I hate Bell, I almost feel like letting him cook and eat it might have been the the best choice to just so that that random variable is not out there. But I think barring that, maybe just releasing it out on the island is the best best way to go.
Yep, strangely, as you got that message and go to leave the thing, you're called back again by one of the waiters, who sort of is rushing up to you and sort of catches you as you go out the door, and sort of says Major Smith has called again and would like to see you in the office in half an hour's time. It's to do with a certain item, and already said things have changed, and that's all he said. I've passed the message, and he sort of bows to you and goes back into the visitor, into the restaurant. So the Major wants to see you in half an hour. Everything
Alright.
seems to have changed.
At our office?
Yes. You assume so. You've never seen his office.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
You don't even know if he has an office.
Right.
I think in any reality you don't know if he's a bad boss. You've either met him in the Buller Bush, or you met him in the tea house, or you met him somewhere else. Yeah, there was it.
Yeah, the Bull and Bush seems like it's his office, really. But,
He's English, so he goes to the pub. And all good business gets done in pubs. Okay.
Yeah, we can head back to the office then.
yeah.
Can we park round the back?
Oh yes, you certainly can. As usual. And you're going by the back door again.
Yeah.
Yeah, strangely, I think Marie went home, so yeah, you have to unlock the front door if you was at.
I'll wait until someone rings the doorbell to unlock it.
Yeah. Right. Okay, let me get these bits of paper out and we'll get on with this. Okay, after about 10-20 minutes, the front doorbell rings again.
Yeah, can I check who it is?
It's the Major again. The Afro-Caribbean one, as in the one in this one. And there's a big black car outside. It's sort of parked in front of there. Where, big black tinted windows sort of thing he drives or is driven in.
Okay.
And he sort of sits there until you open the door to him and said, Good afternoon. Is it Professor? Is everybody here?
Yes.
Okay, let's go into your office where we won't be disturbed. Because things have actually changed since I talked to you half an hour ago. Things have moved on. So if you would join me in the office. Yep, you'll get.
Does he look happy or worried?
No, just his usual self.
Okay.
And he sort of goes in the office and he sort of sits at the desk, behind the desk where you would normally sit, and sort of motions for you guys to sit on the seats in front of it.
Okay.
Interesting. That's the power move there.
Yeah. Well, now I'll get straight to the point. Thing with the piglets has changed. Some fool has told everybody that the piglet has the secret of eternal life, and you can imagine the effect that has had. Now it seems a lot of people now want the piglet. I was going to tell you tonight where Mr. Dr. Armstrong the piglet was, as I thought he would be safe up to then. But now, if you want the piglet, you now need to get to where the Dr. Armstrong the piglet is, and sort of get rid of it fairly quickly, as it's now, as you might say, a hot potato. Whoever said it certainly made life a lot more interesting for you. I actually know where he is. It's a long abandoned private club called the Blue Lagoon on the north coast, halfway along Almajar itself. It will be a good 2 to 3 hours drive. I suggest you go sooner than later, as I've informed Dr. Armstrong that you're on your way. Once you have the piglet, get back to the edge, ring me and give myself an idea what you want to do with it. Sorry to spring this on you, but as I said, things have changed. And if you want the piglet, you need to get the piglet. But I still got to find who was the bloody fool that said something, because it's made your life, how you say, interesting. And you have my number, so I'll leave you gentlemen to sort out what you need to do. And he sort of leaves. Do you lock the door?
Yeah, as soon as
Do you lock the door after it? Go on.
Yeah. As soon as Smith is out the door and gone, yeah, Franco kind of like, does the like looking at his feet and like kicking the imaginary rock.
It's about 2 PM, so if you're going to go, you're going to have to go fairly soon.
Yes, we should move quickly.
I suggest we take something tooled up, basically. And just heads up, the Blue Lagoon was where
Yes!
as well.
I know, that's right. Oh.
I was just trying to think if you remember it or not. And I'm thinking, are you going to remember it? And I thought, yes, you did!
Maybe she'll want the pig?
Yes, let's give the pig to the crazy lady. Nobody will ever get it. Yes.
That's assuming that
I love that idea.
That's assuming she exists. The Blue Lagoon wasn't supposed to exist. If you remember. Right. Yeah. It's now existing. Yep, so do you lock the door after?
Most definitely.
Yeah, if you watch the Major, he gets into the black car that sort of disappears off into the distance, and if you look around, no one's paying particularly much attention to the place. if you have a quick look around, close the blinds and disappear back in to the office.
Yeah.
Right, so it's up to you guys what you want to do next. That would be so fun. So, what you going to do? Are you going to get? How are you going to tool
Yeah.
up?
That's a good question.
Well, Professor Dalton has a pen which has a, I'm sure I said at one point it has a sword inside it,
Mm-hmm.
so he'll take that with him.
So that's quite legal.
Yep. You're allowed anything
Yeah.
bladed, but nothing
No,
gun
good.
related on the island.
I have a very pointy letter opener.
That's fine.
The one that hasn't multiplied.
Right. I mean, it's the I guess it's the one that has not multiplied recently. But,
Yeah, take that with you.
yeah.
And how you've got one car. Which car are you going in? I think yours is a Mini, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fairly quick. I say this from experience. If you got a petrol Mini, the 2000 models, I used to have one. Genuinely, it's very fun to drive. Good for traffic too.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, it's small. It means you get through the town fairly quickly.
Does Mr. Larkin want to stop anywhere or get anything like that?
Coffee, I guess.
Good call.
That would be a good idea, actually. Yeah.
By the time you get there, it's about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. You won't get there till 6 o'clock at night. At this rate.
That's okay, we've got to get there as soon as possible to Smith's bed, so...
Indeed so. Because people are now getting a lot of interest in Piglet.
Can I throw a few zigs and zags in my driving to make sure we're not being followed?
Where are you going? To a coffee bar? To a hotel first? You collect stuff from your apartment?
We'll need to collect the pig basket,
Mhm.
otherwise we'll have nothing to put it in.
Oh yeah.
You go to the apartment.
We can get coffee from the apartment and just shove it in travel mugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can chuck some sandwiches in a box as well in case we get hungry.
Yeah, I was going to say, but
We're not going to be able to get food from the pub like we usually do.
Right.
no, you'll be sort of away for a short while. It's alright, you have to excuse me, I'm eating some biscuits.
No problem. I've been eating breakfast this entire time myself. So.
So sandwiches, anything you taking, is it pointy sticks and knives?
Yeah, we're armed with pointy sticks and harsh language.
Is there anything else anybody needs to do before we go?
No, I think just, Franco, of course, tops his travel mug off with a judicious amount of whiskey.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think you guys have done this drive before, so quite apt to knowing where it is. Basically, it's up the Freedom Road,
Right.
some 40 kilometres towards Freedom City. It's a fair distance, and it's a side road which has a sign saying the Blue Lagoon. It was down a side road, it ended in a car park with the clubhouse, which was all closed up, and if you went down the steps, you had the big swimming pool by the sea. The one where Alice sort of took apart two people. You left a certain white rabbit with no tongue. I think she took his tongue out and his eye, so he's gave him his magic and he couldn't use it. It all had verbal components, so the guy's a little screwed. He got what he wanted but didn't get it. Yes, and you took the money. You took his money, if I remember right, and you left him there.
Oh, right.
So we did take his money.
Mm-hmm. And you also had outside a lot of dead mafia people.
Right.
Who'd been generally sliced up by Alice again. So yeah. Cool. The only issue you've got is as you go down the road itself, it's very difficult to lose people on it. It's the only road you're going to go down.
Yeah.
So you can sort of.
I'm trying to sort of lose any tails before we get to the road.
Yeah. Somehow I don't blame you. Right, as you get all prepared.
You call it paranoid, I call it careful.
Yeah.
As you sit there and you pack the car up for your journey, get yourselves all set up, a little piglet appears, dressed as an avocado. It sort of grunts at you, disappears in a puff of blue smoke, leaving a folded piece of paper. It seems to be it's a very busy pig.
Man.
Right.
Alright, I walk over and pick up the piece of paper.
Let me just get this open and so I can get. Okay. Right, so it's. Let me put this into the role playing channel. Let's hope this has. Oh, of course it isn't, is it? Yo-yo, little. No, bear with me here. We'll go all the way down the hard way. Down the directories again, as it's all set up for the vampire game. Role playing. Games. Edge. Series. Documents. Handouts. That's about 44. And that's what you get. That's what you find. Oh, wait a minute, that's the wrong one. Bear with me here, I'll get the right one for you. That's the original. That's the better one. That's it. That's the better of the ones. It's a PDF. Right. And you can read that at your leisure. And yes, you pack your car up, you put your sandwiches in, you put your various things. Are you taking anything else other than sandwiches? Are you taking sleeping bags? Anything like that? Or just blankets?
Could I... Yeah, we could take some blankets. Take some binoculars maybe? I mean, there won't be a lot of use at night, but, you know.
Because you're essentially going into the wild as far as was it down the Java is concerned. Actually, the third edition describes the island as full of small farms and estates. And it is compared to that, it's fairly, was it rural outside of there, and if I remember right, there was not a lot on the road between there, just lots of little side roads.
I think sleeping bags might be better because I don't think there's much in that club. It's just like burnt out.
I'd have been cleared out, and they cleared all there's nothing in there as far as you remember. As far as you remember, as in they'd taken all the booze, much to her annoyance. They'd left the seats in there. Anything remarkably valuable had been removed, any paperwork had been removed. They'd left nothing in there. Right. And you all get into the car, and you start it up, and you move it to, was it, the car sort of, you hear a thump by and followed by squeaks from the four wheels.
Oh.
Are we on the highway?
No, it's just as you move off.
Is it burst tyres?
Are you going to check?
Yeah.
The tyres look fine, it's just a number of squashed dog toys.
Oh God.
I just get back in the car and drive off. I have not got the time for this nonsense.
Dog Mafia is onto us.
Yep, they were just reminding you, we want sausages now. Yeah, you sort of wind your way through the traffic in Almazoa, and I think you go a circumvented route, don't you, out. And as far as you can tell, you're not being followed. And you get onto the road, it's the road that goes past the airport, basically, sort of thing, with their weird thing. Was it airport, which they don't do in the 3rd edition either, which is a little disappointing. They've actually got it. They have it the right way round.
Oh, that's just boring.
I know, so that's why I thought I was put off by this. Yeah, so yeah, and you onto the road, and most of the journey goes fairly quiet. About a quarter of the way up, coming from towards you are a whole convoy of what they call Democratic Guard and Peace Force vehicles, who seem to be going at some fair lick towards the edge, and they sort of go past you. They're doing that, basically armoured cars, and the Democratic Guard have nice, armoured cars, looking, with their glasses on, looking, mirror shades, looking cool, sort of thing. Oh, look at us, we've got big weapons to play with and real guns to play with, sort of thing. And they just go past you and into the distance again. And the last one again has written on the back of it, was it a bad wolf? Exclamation mark. Again. And they seem to not pay much attention to you. And you continue on, and was it about halfway across the journey, as it's starting to get twilight, you see some very big American cars sort of coming fast behind you. They seem to be gaining on you, and as they get to you,
Is there anywhere
we pull to the side of the road if you want to. Well, there'll be a turning at some point.
Yeah, I'll see if I can lose them by taking the turning. It's probably no.
Yeah, you turn off the road, slow down, turn off. They sort of slow down and then speed up as you get out of the way. And they're going towards Freedom City, and they sort of speed past you. They're big, the sort of cars you would have seen in Las Vegas, as in very reminiscent of the 50s sort of thing, down to the people sitting in them in suits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, they would have passed us anyway, to be fair.
If they were going to chase you, they were doing this. You've seen these cars before. The last time you saw them is when you were going to the villa with a certain group of Italian gentlemen. As in,
I mean,
yeah.
If they get there first, then that will be a distraction. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you might be able to swipe the pig.
Yeah. Yeah. You just carry on driving as fast as you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than standard traffic, other than that, and at one point you hear a helicopter going towards the edge. Above you, you hear the above you of the helicopter that's going towards the edge. You can get to the road. I can never remember if they drive on the left or the right. They'll probably drive on the right, just to be different. But well, it is European, so it would be they drive on the right. And you get to the junction, and when you get to the junction to the Blue Lagoon, do you go just driving down the road, or what do you do?
Look like those cars have gone this way. Is there lots of sand picked up?
No, not a lot. Not as far as you can see. It looks as if it hasn't been used in a long while, to be really fair. The track has the sort of, as if the road was sort of used at one point, but years of rain and stuff like that, it just looks as if it's been abandoned. Grass grows in various points around on the road, that it hasn't been used for a long while, but it's still drivable. And the grass and some of the bush, the things that's growing on the road, haven't been disturbed, so nothing's gone across and knocked it over, sort of thing.
Shall we just go straight to the building, or do you want to stop short?
Yeah, maybe we should approach on foot.
How far along the track is it?
It's a good 4 or 5 kilometres.
Maybe we go a bit further in the car then.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So that I don't make it look like it's disturbed, is it flat enough that I can drive to one side of the road?
Yep.
So that I don't disturb the grass?
Oh yeah. As you go further up, as in this, it looks like you start to see someone's done something similar to yourself. You start to see there is one set of tracks. You can see them every few while, as in someone has sort of tried the same as yourself, has not quite succeeded totally.
Well, I mean, it could be a scientist. So, yeah, we'll just keep going. I'll keep an eye out for when we get closer. For somewhere where I could hide the car and we could walk from close enough.
Yep, you might find somewhere. There seems to be sort of an area. Yeah. Yeah, you sort of park in, and there seems to be something there already. Another car.
Do you want to have a look, guys?
Yeah.
I'll park up next to it.
Yep.
Is the engine cold?
It certainly is, yes. It's just a standard, was it, run-of-the-mill car. A hatchback. Just seems fairly empty. It's locked. It has Almajaran plates on it. Fairly unremarkable car, but it's been hidden here, sort of facing the road, as if it's ready for a quick getaway. And like all car, it's been hidden from the road. And if you look,
Our car somewhere else.
yeah, if you go a little way down.
Really? Because if this is the chap who's assigned to this is his car and he tries to pass getaway, you could always like let a couple of tyres down.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
So you're going to let his tyres down, are you?
Yeah.
Tyres down. You've got me, bloody Americans got me spelling tyres with an I again.
Yes.
Canadians are as bad. They spell it with an I. Thinking, guys, tired. Yeah, so you're tired then, are you? How many tyres are you letting down? All of them, or are you letting them all down, or just some of them?
Maybe just the two rear ones or something like that.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, from the car, can you tell if it's front or rear-wheel drive?
Oh yeah.
It's probably front. So you're going to do the front tyres then.
Yeah, let down the front ones.
Drive wheels. Most cars now have it front wheel drive. I think it's very few, other than the performance ones, are back driven. It's always comical. I think that includes things like Porsches are still, driven from the back. But this will be a box standard, so it'll be at the front. Yep. So you let down his two front tyres. Oh boy, he's going to be pleased. Especially if he hasn't got a pump. Oh dear, that would be funny. Yeah. And it's starting to get dark. Do you bring torches?
Yeah.
I think you would have.
I would assume so.
Yeah, no, I'd be fair, let you do it. Yep, it's starting to get dusk, so it's starting to get darkish.
Can we leave our car somewhere where we could see this car, because we could wait for him to come out.
You could.
Okay?
No, I think that would be. I think we've got too many potential people on our tail. We just want to act. Yeah.
And as you're sitting there discussing this, you hear overhead something go thud, which seems to be going the other way to the other one. So you'd reckon, rather than going to the left, it's going to the right. So it's going towards, you'd think it was going towards Freedom City. And it's actually fairly low.
Okay. Where are we leaving our car then? Obviously not next to the one where we just let his tyres down.
Yeah, if you go down a little bit, you'll find another copse you can put it in. So you leave the car. nearby off the road. Do you cover it as in with branches and stuff like that?
I was just thinking of that, especially with the helicopters overhead.
Yeah.
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 Just leave the windscreen clear.
Yeah.
We might have to take off looking like a hedge.
Yep. Okay, so so you leave the car and you walk down the track. It's still light enough to down the road. It's still light enough to sort of see, but as you go down the track, it will get darker. Are you going to use your night vision, or are you going to use your torches to light your way?
I mean, is there enough moonlight to be able to?
Yeah. It is. It's also January, so it's going to get fairly cold anyway. If it goes, so it's even down here it will get cool. And yeah, so you're not going to use your torches?
Not yet.
No. Now, as you walk down the road, you don't hear another helicopter. By the time you get to the actual car park itself, it's a good kilometre walk. It's near enough dark. And again, the whole area with the club seems to be dark. Now, there seems to be at least two dark shapes within the car park, as in you would think they were cars or something in the actual car park. It's very in the dark. They'll just appear as shapes. If you light them with a torch, it'll become obvious what they are. And there's about two of them in there. And it seems very quiet. And you hear
Do you think I'll whisper to the others, should we let these times down too?
Yeah, let's while we're at it, let's do the whole thing.
Yep.
Cover all our bases.
Yeah, as you go towards the cars, they actually look like they've been there for a hell of a long time. The tyres are flat because they've been there a long time. They're covered in dust. The doors are open. They look slightly familiar, as in they've been look very similar to cars that used to be here. And there's two of them. The cars themselves inside look damp, smell damp and musty, and the seats have and there are brown stains on the inside of the door, as in the rusty brown stains. Anybody with any knowledge would figure out they look like they're old blood stains.
Yeah. These left over from Alice? Or are they too old for that even?
Well, the problem is that you don't know when Alice occurred. But these cars have been here a good while. You'd think they were over a year. More.
Because we had a good look round here last time.
Mm-hmm.
Could I work out where I would think this chap would be most likely to hide?
It's more likely to be the building itself, as in the club, as in the main clubhouse. If you remember rightly, all that was down the steps was a big pool by the sea, as in it was a pool, as in on the edge of a cliff of a small, as it sort of dropped to the sea itself, and there wasn't anything other than probably there'll be a small building down there to do with like a small bar, but that would have been probably all that was down there. And probably was it old seats which have long rotted if they were there. could always go down there and see if you can find the bloodstain.
Right.
If it's still there. And like last time, the clubhouse itself is boarded up. From where you are, it looks dark, as if there's nothing inside the club.
Do we want to investigate there, or skip it and go to the pool?
We should probably check it just to be sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you go round, as before, the doors look firmly locked with, was it metal over the doors, like last time. And as you go round, certainly as you go around the building, at some point there seems to be a very dim light coming through one of the, sort of the slats. As in, was it not candlelight? It's more like not a torch light, but more like a lamp. A lamp light, a very yellowish sort of light. And it's round the side, so you wouldn't have seen it at the front. No, you can't as such. It's only a very small gap, as in you're not going to see a lot in there. Well, you can't. Probably the only thing you probably hear is the hiss of what you think was storm lamps. You know, as in the lamps, the gas lamps. Well, not gas lamps. They are, aren't they? Storm lamps. As in their hiss of them burning. And probably that's probably all you hear from where you are. And actually the lamps themselves are fairly loud. If you put your ears to the things, you might hear every few while some movement and an odd grunt.
That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. All right, let's do this.
Yep. Are you going to go around? Are you going to check the whole building?
Yeah.
Well, we've heard the grunts, so we know where the pig is.
Yep. And you go around the building, and the back door has actually been gemmied, as in it's open.
Okay.
I think this is how you got in last time, if I remember rightly. If you look at it, it's been gemmied a long time ago. As in the lock itself and the thing is all rusty. So it looks like it was never locked, and it's familiar in so much. This is probably how you came in last time, if I remember rightly. And who goes in first?
I will. I'm
With your pointy.
Franco was feeling
brave.
he's feeling a little extra brave and also a little extra bad because his loose lips
Sink ships.
accelerated the time.
Yeah. As you go in again, you hear again above you. This time going back towards the edge again. Again, fairly low.
That sounds ominous.
I think they're looking for him.
Yep. And who's going in next?
I'll go.
Yeah, and was it the professor will be at the back?
Eye on back.
Yeah. You go in, and it's like before. There, you're in the back part of the club, so you've all got the ancillary rooms. There's sort of a passage towards where you think you probably have to go through the kitchens. In actual fact, through the kitchen to the double doors, you think is the club area, and from behind the double doors, you can see there is a light there. You can actually see it more because the doors are designed to swing, so there's a gap in them, and you definitely hear the storm lamps, and you can definitely hear now there's something moving in there and grunting every few while. And then was it something that sort of moves? You hear something sort of moving around, and then a plop and a very satisfied grunt of a pig. Right, are you going through the double doors, or are you just going to stand there and look evil?
I think Franco takes a deep breath and then pops through the doors.
Yeah, you open into the familiar area, as in it's the bar again, the one you checked for all the drink, and there was none left. It's a fairly large area. There's a bar one side. There's still the seats. Some of them are still up on top of the chairs. In one corner there are two storm lamps. They're fairly low to the floor, as in he hasn't hung them high. This is probably why you're not seeing them outside the window. There's a table set up there with food and water. There's a sleeping bag. To the side there's a carry case, as in a piglet carry, large enough to carry a piglet, from where there is the noise of the piglet came from. It sort of grunts as soon as it sees the door. You probably see two little bright eyes going, looking at you, and you see a man sitting in basically what best described as hunting clothes, as in he's got a check shirt, jeans on, boots, he's got a body warmer on, sort of thing, and he has a baseball bat across his lap, and he's sort of looking at you, and he says, I've been expecting you. You can have the piglet as long as you leave me alone. In the end, everything's gone wrong, so you can have it for what it's worth. Oh, I would like to point out the story about the piglet containing the drug is a lie, along with the papers. It's just an ordinary pig that has black and white meat. Just take the piglet, do with it what you want, and just leave it. Just leave. Pig's been bad luck since the start.
James will lean down to pick up a pig, I guess.
Yeah. He says you can take the container if you want to. I don't care.
Okay. If he's off, right? I mean, sorry, is the pig in the container?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it's a little ice cream and sort of oinks at you. And this one is black and white. And you'll notice it does have a barcode on it. It looks like the... You can put your hand in, you just get a pig that sort of sits there, and as soon as you start to rub it, it sort of lies down and goes, oh, like that. And yes, it doesn't rub off. And it sort of turns over and goes, yeah, scratch my stomach now. I want my stomach scratched. And it's sort of grunting contently. And it's definitely a black and white pig. Its nose is black, and it has a black mouth and a black tongue. Nothing's pink on it, and it's white, as in bright white. So it looks a little weird. It looks like as if it's been painted.
Who wants a pet pig?
But it's very friendly. The guy's going, Just go, please.
All right.
Okay.
Fine.
The guy just looks.
Good luck to you, Doctor.
Yep.
Just back out slowly.
Yeah, just watch out for the buyers. I would.
Right.
Well, it's a failed con. These things happen.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Go.
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You might want to check your tyres before you leave.
Yes. Why?
No reason. No reason. Good,
Okay.
See you. Bye. See you.
Yeah.
I just could like herd everybody out the back door.
Yeah. You have the pig. Woohoo! At last.
All right.
You've got it. Yeah. He looked remarkably relieved when you took the pig. Do you remember what he said about the paper and the pig itself?
It's all a massive con.
Yeah. He was just looking to make some money. Sounds like.
I mean, could you imagine if it was true though?
I mean, we could still benefit from his con. We have buyers, but that doesn't seem.
I like it.
Somehow that doesn't. But I think well, but yeah, like Franco says this, but I think he like kind of, pokes his finger through the through the wires of the carrier and kind of scratches the pig on the forehead and like, I don't know, that it's kind of cute though.
Yeah, it's
It's
like a.
to just like have it made into bacon, doesn't it?
No, doesn't.
No, so as you go out, you hear again a thud, 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 this time going the other way.
Can we just sort of keep low and work our way back to the car?
Yep,
Yeah.
it's now getting very dark. This is the bit where I don't know what you're going to do. This is the hard bit. Hey. Yep, so yeah, you get back to the car. It's now when you're driving off, are you driving off with your lights on, or are you going to drive off trying to see in the dark, which means you would be
No, I was
going.
gonna say let's take it slow with the lights off.
Yep.
I was going to say, in certain parts of Egypt, the locals believe that you can drive in the desert without your lights on, because if you put your lights on, you damage your dark vision.
So you basically go slowly out of there without your lights on. It's going to take you a good 2 or 3 hours to do, but you really are that slow. A good hour.
If we keep off the main track,
It is the only way it's out there, was it? If you in the dark.
and yeah, just going to take it carefully.
Yeah, you eventually go slowly onto the road itself, and every few while you'll hear thud, 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 coming backwards and forwards. But as you go away from it, it's now from behind you, as in it was over where you were, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, you get to the road and you sort of stop. The road looks, how you say, fairly quiet.
Could we... How far are we away from the villa now?
It's the other side of the island, and there's no routes, as far as you know.
Right.
There's no routes across the island. There's a big mountain in the middle, and the villa
Right.
was an app. It's over the other side of the island, so you'd have to either go up to Freedom City, and then all the way back down, and that's a good 100 kilometres. It should take you most of the night to get to the villa, and there would be the issue of going through Freedom City, which you assume if it's a centre of the government, it's going to be a little fun to get through. You'd have roadblocks to deal with because it being a government city.
Also, I've never been there, so I don't know.
No, it's just the other way you've been, and there's just, as far as the island's concerned, there are just two major roads, and there's lots of little roads, and there are no maps. So yes, you could drive across the island, but it's highly likely you'd end up lost in the middle of nowhere.
Well, the thing is, I think if we go now, we will get caught, because there's one road in, there's one road out. I mean, so I don't know what the rest of you guys think, but we could find somewhere, just wait for it to get busier on the road and then go then, but then that's risky if it's set up road.
In the distance, you see towards the edge some lights, some car lights coming in your direction. There seems to be about four or five of them, and they're moving at some speed.
Can I pull off the road so we're out of sight? Wait for them to pass?
Yeah, there'll be enough side roads for you to do that. Yeah, so you find a side road and you drive up it.
We'll just wait a minute or two for them to pass.
Yeah. Once again, they seem to be large mafia cars, and they seem to be sort of, if you watch them, you sort of watch them, they sort of slow down where you think the entrance was, so, and then sort of disappear. Then, as far as you can see, the lights sort of turn towards the club, and this.
We've got to put as much difference between them and us as we can.
Yeah.
And in the distance, sort of following the road too, seems to be a number of helicopters. These ones, unlike the other one, was just sporting the other ones. These ones are carrying lights.
Are they coming towards us, or are they going towards the house?
They seem to sort of veer off towards where the club was.
Right. Say if you disagree with me, but I think we should try and just keep going with the lights off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep going along
Sounds
the
good to me.
road and just try and get away as quickly as we can.
Right.
Yeah. So you go towards the edge.
With a bit of luck, they'll run into each other and cause a problem.
Yeah.
Could I ask one of you to keep an eye out for any headlights or anything? Or helicopters or anything else?
Yeah.
Of course.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah. It's easier to follow. You can't run at full speed on the road, but there'll be white posts so you can sort of follow it. So you're not going at full speed. It's good, but it's not that good as night goes. So you're probably going about half the speed you normally would on the road, scaring yourself every few while when it suddenly turns. About another 10 minutes, another lot of helicopters coming in your direction. one's very low onto the road with a light on the road.
Pull off the road again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sort of gets to a point, stops sort of opposite you, sort of as it sort of turns, the light sort of turns and sort of looking at the road, it sort of goes lower, and it looks like one of the helicopters you saw at the villa, as in the one with the certain markings,
Yeah.
as in sort of very reminiscent of the Nazis, and it's also bristling with, what was it, the helicopter itself is bristling with weapons, and it sort of does that for a few minutes and then just flies down the road as if they're looking for someone on the road.
I'm going to leave it till they're
Mhm.
and then this is brown trousers time. I'm just going to go quickly, and I mean really quickly.
You're going with the lights on basically and just going, if these roads aren't straight, so you don't know them, and driving in the dark at speed, you are likely to, as it, crash it.
I mean, what do you think? Do we risk the lights and just floor it?
I think so at this point.
Okay. But let me know if you see anything and I'll turn them off.
Now, is there like a smaller town that's like?
No, there isn't. There's only no, there isn't any towns as such. There's side roads to go off, and there'll be lights at the side where you would think would be in the States and stuff like that. And probably you've seen signs for farms, as in small farms. But no, was it major settlements on the actual, was it, road itself?
Okay.
And you're going for held for leather.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't see any further helicopters. Anybody's looking behind. You probably, as you pull away, you probably see that there are lights in the sky as moving around, look much like UFOs would look, as in something is flying over, sort of thing. And they seem to be, as you go away, they seem to fade into the background, and after about 2 or 3 corners you can't see them basically, as the road sort of winds its way along the coast. At some point, yeah, you're away from where they are, and who's ever watching, there are going on there, you can see there's lights coming in your direction down the road.
I'll turn the lights off and then pull off again.
Yeah. And it seems to be, you remember that convoy of Republican Democratic Guards and was it Peace Force? They seem to be going in the opposite direction towards, was it, Freedom City. Again, they're actually moving at a fair lick, as in they're moving fairly fast. And the last one still has Bad Wolf with an exclamation mark painted on it. So it's exactly the same group as you saw that going down, but they seem to be going towards where you were from. And if as you watch them, they sort of disappear around the corner, and if you watch them every few while, they'll appear as the road snakes, and they're still going at speed. Are you going to start off again at speed?
Yeah.
Yeah. As you go along, every few while you pull off when a lone car sort of comes past, an odd lorry comes past. But other than that, you don't see any more Republican guards. You don't see anything more. You don't see helicopters, was it, flying over anymore. Whatever's going on is now back to where you was it from. And you sort of start to come out into civilization. You see the airport, which is lit, and you see ahead of you, was it the whole of the edge, which is always, well, even this time of night, it's must be 2-3 in the morning, is lit, as in you know where the city is, sort of thing. And as you go in, the streets are, they're slightly more quieter than usual, but there's still got their traffic on there. There's still people running around, not as many as is in the day. And if anybody is, they look at this time of the morning look reasonably dodgy at the best of times. Now, do you go straight to your apartment, or do you, does it take a circumvent?
No.
You're going the circumventive route, are you?
As soon as when we get to the city, I'll probably just pull over because Professor Dalton's been driving for a while now, and
Yeah,
it's been
yeah.
very stressful.
Yeah.
We can't go back to the office. We can't go back to the apartment because we have. I mean, do we just give the pig to Major Smythe and make it Smith rather, and make it his problem?
I mean, it's just a regular pig, right?
As far as we know.
The papers to do with it, you left them in the office, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a biologist. I can't test it anyway.
No, the only people that could are Beyond Human LLC.
We don't trust
Yeah.
them.
They could certainly do that. You did know. You did know there was a professor. I think it was a doctor, Vogel, but unfortunately Vogel works for Beyond LLC now. He's not the independent you once knew.
No.
And there was another one, which is there was another professor you knew, but unfortunately he doesn't exist in this reality. Right, finding someone to contest it. And you don't have any fringe scientists either, do you?
No.
Right.
Yeah, as you sit in there, people just going past, they just generally ignore you. You're just another car that's sort of sitting on the edge of the road. So where are you going to go? And considering it's your dog tired now, you've been on the go since about 9 this morning.
Yeah, let's I tempted to just go home and sleep on it, but I'm worried that I'm worried what might be waiting for us either at the office or the apartment or
And we can't take a pig into the
Hotel, yeah.
yeah.
We could go to that dodgy hotel in the Flowers District.
I know the one you mean. As in the one... Oh, what was it called? Oh, I know the one you mean. It's Bienvenidos Hotel on the Flower Plaza.
Right.
Yeah. That's the one where you had the... Yeah, you've been there before.
Yeah, you can pay cash and we don't care.
Yeah, okay. That sounds doable. Yeah.
I mean, it's not nice.
No. But it will do what you want it to do. No questions asked. It's exactly what you want, and there's parking places on there too. Ooh,
Yeah, sounds good to me.
73.
Yeah.
Plus they won't expect you to be there either. Oh god, 73. Aha! Average hotel. Aha! Yeah. Yep, that'll be fine. Yeah. So you go to the. Yep. You also go to the flowers. Do you do it a circumvented route, or do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, as before. And you eventually get about. It's probably about. Was it 4 in the morning?
I'm sure they've had people call in at stranger hours at this place.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a night porter there, and he says, what can I do for you?
Rooms, please.
Just lots of room. Will that be single rooms?
Yes, please.
That would be for how long?
What's the time now?
It's 4.
Well, we'll pay you for, do you do like 24 hours?
Yeah, we can do a night. Yeah. That will be $120.
Press the dog and we'll hand it over.
For 24 hours. And he gives you, was it 3 keys? So you have 3 rooms. Who's keeping the pig for the evening?
Good question.
I can keep hold of it.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, you get 2 rooms. I think you lot are just going to sleep, I think, to be fair, because you're absolutely dog tired. It's been how you say, an extremely stressful day, to say the least. Now, this will be interesting. Right. One that doesn't occur. That's the fun thing, there's no mobile phones as such at the moment.
Oh yeah.
At this time of year. So one scene does not occur. Because you haven't told anybody where you are. Yep, you sort of sleep through, you sort of wake about 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. Was it because yeah, you're tired and you sort of wake up, you're still a bit, was it not with it, the piglet's still there, your rooms haven't been disturbed. You've had nothing's happened to you. And what do you do in the morning?
Well, I mean, Piggy will be hungry, so we'll
Yeah.
get it something to eat.
Yeah, it'll eat. Was it anything near enough?
I mean, we could probably ask them for some food from the kitchen, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they'll bring food up, room service. Yeah, they'll bring that up for you. They didn't take, any notice of the piglet. Yeah, it seems very content. It eats and leaves a present on the floor.
Never were children.
Yep, leaves a present in the pool. Well, it hasn't been out, has it, all night?
Oh yeah.
So it's sort of sitting there looking very pleased with itself and very relieved, then wanders back into its box and makes itself comfortable. So you have not told. Yep. Right. So, are you going to go downstairs and get a breakfast? Or are you going to have your breakfast in your rooms?
No, down.
Paranoid where we have breakfast in our room.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I don't blame you at all. Yep. You haven't run, was it the major yet?
Well, we need to agree what we're going to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what does everyone think? We could just give it to the major, and then whatever he does with it is no longer a problem.
Yeah.
We would just take it to one of the farms that we saw on the road and let it live its best life on farm.
Well, do we have any... This seems silly to say. Do we have any proof that it doesn't make you immortal when you eat it?
No, none whatsoever.
That's a... Yeah, I mean, that is a very real concern, I think.
As well, is that he was lying to us because, he's
right.
And he did mention buyers, but he didn't tell you who they were.
And he's probably told them by now that we got paid.
If you're still alive.
Right.
Oh, how do they do this? Yeah, I was just thinking, they don't know what... They will not know what mini you're driving. They won't know what car you're driving. They certainly won't know where you are. Yeah, and this is the edge. And after all, was it, yeah? So, you're eating in one room. Just generally, was it?
Yeah, we're probably eating, trying to discuss what we're going to do with the pig. Try and clear up the delightful mess that's left on the floor. Not that this will make much difference, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not the best. It's not like the Caesar as it's done there.
Right.
Ooh.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, in amongst my other activities, I mean, I could try and smuggle it out of Almajara,
Yeah.
putting it on the table.
Or yeah, give it to Mitch. She could do that probably pretty easily.
How easy is it to paint a pig?
You mean like a racehorse?
Well, yes, I suppose.
I've no idea. What are you thinking?
And a voice pipes up in an English accent. Paint a pig?
Sorry, who's speaking?
Lots of very familiar Mr. Morningstar.
Oh no.
Sorry, who are you again?
The devil.
Sure. So my idea was we paint pig, we tell everyone we lost the original, and I don't know, we either release it or we keep the pig.
That seems like a good idea.
It's a nice pig.
You sort of
Morningstar, did you have any brilliant ideas? I'm assuming you don't want an immortal pig running around.
Oh, it's not immortal.
It's not so this is the pig. So this is the one that was it a certain Mr. Allegari said was he sort of picks the pig up the cage up and looks at it. It's not much of a pig, is it? And he puts it back down. Oh, I've told a few people where you are. And he sort of walks out of the door.
God, I hate this guy.
I mean, I was just about to ask you guys if you wanted, we could always get Mr. Morningstar to touch the pig and then it would just expire. Any ability would go with it.
Yep.
So, just to clarify, is he biblically accurate, Satan, or is he more Milton?
He can kill people with a touch.
Yeah, well, every time you see him on the platform, the way out, he touches somebody's shoulder and they drop dead. So I assume, I hate to use the phrase biblically accurate because I imagine that could be inaccurate. But
There's a knock on the door.
Nobody knows we're here.
Another knock on the door.
Hey, is there a fire escape?
Yeah, it's all right. I'll creep towards the door with the letter opener in hand.
I'll grab the
And,
pig and start going towards
yeah.
the...
Yeah, you have a look at the food. There's a little spy hole.
Okay.
And there's a gentleman out there who looks... lots of military bearing, as in he's in a long coat. Underneath there seems to be a grey, was it coverall? His hair's sort of cut short, as in short back and sides, and military that the back of his head is shaved to less than number 1 sort of thing. He has blonde hair and blue eyes. Looks, you would think, European. And he's sort of standing there. And he says, "Herr Professor, I know you're in there. Can we talk, please?"
Just like gesturing frantically towards the window.
Yep, going to just go out the window and crouch, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying to get out of sight.
Are you going to answer the door?
I'm gonna wait for everybody to get out.
Yeah.
And I will. Yeah, I'll just. Yeah. That once everybody's like out the window, I will open up the door and look like I'm bleary-eyed and like I've been woken up and yeah, just
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Who?
He sort of said, you do not look like the Herr Professor.
No. Who's what? No, I'm not a professor, nor am I particularly hairy. What's this about?
You don't have a piglet in here. He sort of looks round.
A what?
I
Why
was
would I have a?
Piglet.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't mind if I come in, do you?
It's like 3 in the morning.
It's actually 10 in the morning, but
Or
yeah, you can say. But yeah, was it? He sort of says, "I would like to come in and have a look."
And who were you? Look, I rented this room. I'm like I'm paid up for.
He sort of goes inside his jacket and pulls out a gun and puts it back again.
Okay. Sure. Have a look around, buddy.
Yeah, he looks around.
No.
Now, what are the guys in the window doing? Are you going down at this point?
Yep, sounds like a.
Yeah.
Well, I closed the window after me if no one.
That's what that's what I want to know. You closed the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. He's not. That just means he's not going to do something obvious. Yeah, he looks round. He sort of looks in the. He sort of looks out of the window. Looks where the fire escape is. He looks. Was it bed? He looks under the bed. He sort of goes there, and he sort of says, "Sorry to disturb you," and sort of walks out, so looking a little annoyed. And you notice that the boots he's wearing are very reminiscent of jack boots, as in German was it army boots.
Right.
Down to the fact they're polished and they're sort of doing this, and he sort of disappears down the hallway.
Okay.
I think you're at the back, so you won't see what's going on the front. Yeah. You guys, you're going to go all the way down to the back of the hotel with the piglet. And what's Mr. Allegari going to do?
I think it waits until this guy is
Gone.
gone. Yeah, and then I think I will. Well, I first, duck, stick my head out the window. Obviously, he didn't find, my friends.
They're
that,
in the alley at the back, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. In that case, yeah, I throw my coat on real quick and
Join them.
Yeah, try to join them. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fine if you close the window down after you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you join the guys at the alley below.
Okay.
They're sort of sitting there waiting. I don't think you guys would have done anything, would you? You'd be sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
Hiding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's up to you what you want to tell them about the gentleman, but
I just relayed it. It was one of those Reich guys. He had a gun. I let him check the room because there wasn't really anything incriminating there. But
yeah, if they pull guns, the best thing to do is what you did at the barn last time, which is get the attention of the police because they're not around.
Right. Well, it's little didn't really have much.
Oh no, in that situation you have
Yeah.
But if they do it in a public place.
yeah.
Right.
Your cars would be parked. Would you park your car in front of the hotel? Well, there's only parking places around the square itself. Would you park it near the hotel or some distance away from the hotel?
Would have parked it like in a side street somewhere.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I'm gonna like this bit. Yeah, are you going back to your car and move, or you?
Right, we need to get away from here because Mr. Morningstar was obviously bored.
Jesus.
Oh dear.
Yep. So you're not going around the front. You're going to go around the back streets to the car.
Yeah.
Should we? I mean, do we just want this over? Do we just want to ring Major Smith and say to him, "Come to the Bull and Bush and collect the pig"?
So I didn't catch her.
I mean, we're going to have a load of people after us for this pig. Do we just ring Major Smith, tell him to meet us at the Bull and Bush, and we hand the pig over to him? I mean, he might give it back to Beyond Human, he might use it for his own purposes, but I don't know what else to suggest. I mean, we could try and keep it and sell it, but that's very risky.
As you're sitting there discussing, you see a gentleman sort of coming down to around the back of the hotel. They're all wearing. One of them looks familiar, as in a gentleman with shortish hair, the one that showed you the gun, and there's other gentlemen all wearing fairly long coats, and you can see under their grey coveralls. They're sort of making their way towards the fire escape.
I'll climb into a dumpster if it's seems to be the safest.
Yeah, do you join them?
Nice.
I mean, we could just slowly drive off in the car and just talk as we drive, because if we're moving,
Yeah.
we're less likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, no, I'll leave that to a later date. That one's done. That one didn't occur. That one did not occur. You find your car. You could drive away with it if it wasn't full of tennis balls. I mean, full of tennis balls.
God, what the hell?
Shit.
As in, and there's a bit of paper on the that's
I
it.
know exactly who this is.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of paper on the thing, and it has the message. Oh, where are you? I think it's that one. I'm sure it's that one. And it has that message on the windscreen. Someone's being particularly annoying.
We've got to deal with that, but I have bigger issues right now.
If you open the door, you can get the balls out of the car.
Oh man.
Yeah, if you open the door, the balls will all fall out, and you can sort of kick it. Takes about a few minutes to do. You end up with a car with a load of tennis balls around it.
I don't care.
Yeah, you get in and you'll be finding tennis balls in the car for about the next day or so.
That's fine, my dog will like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else could they do? They can't exactly put a horse's head in your bed.
Yeah.
They can they?
Well, yeah, the car was locked, so how they got the balls in this was it a little fascinating. I'd be worried. But yeah, you're going to drive round, you're not going to stop anywhere.
No, we'll
Yeah.
just drive round while we'll figure out what to do.
As you drive around, you're sort of are you paying was its attention to what's around you? As in anybody following you or stuff like that, or people
Yeah,
watching you?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got our heads on a swivel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, every few while, you sure there's a big black car with blanked out windows that's sort of following you on and off.
That could be the major.
Shall we just go to the pub and ring him to get rid of the paperwork?
Yeah, I feel like being in a public space now is probably our best defense.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't feel entirely good about giving it to the major either, but That might be our best option.
Well, yeah, it depends if. Yeah.
But it depends if you'll give it straight back, to be honest.
Right.
But I mean, it's theirs anyway. But
Mm.
like, it's just whether this whole immortality thing.
Yep. He can deal with it. He can either do something with it, get it out off the island. He's the only person you can probably trust at the moment to think about it. As you're driving around, this black car sort of is following you, and every few while there seems to be men standing on the street sort of watching you with black suits, white shirts, black ties, black shoes, looking like men in black. You almost think one of them looked like Will Smith. Sort of standing there, they're sort of watching you. And
have they got a really ugly pug called Frank?
no pugs. There's just one or two of them that sort of, as you drive around, they're noticeable because they sort of stand out compared to the rest of the people. The rest of us in far more colourful and stuff like that. And there's peace officers wandering around. There seems to be a lot more, Peace Force officers wandering around in, body armour and guns than usual.
Funny that.
Yeah, but there seems to be a lot more doing that.
The last thing we need right now is the Peace Force.
Oh yes. Yeah. So you go to the pub and you park the car.
Well, they're obviously looking for the car, so we'll park away from the pub.
Yeah.
Hopefully get filled with tennis balls or some such nonsense.
Right.
Yep, and you park the car a distance away and you sort of walk towards the pub where it is, and James is carrying the, was it Piglet, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. He sort of walked there and James gets a tap on the shoulder.
Oh.
And there's this woman in a tutu with a big cleaver.
Oh no.
She's sort of looking at the, what's the piggy? Nice piggy. Who am I? I'm just a woman with a big cleaver.
James turns around and keeps walking.
He's not as friendly as your friend. She's sort of talking to the professor. To Dalton. He's not as friendly. You know what happens when people are not friendly to me.
I do, but he's a friend of my friend, so I would appreciate it if you could make an exception in this case.
She sort of sits there, sort of cogitating. Could I have a look at the piggy? Please. It looks a nice piggy.
James is still walking to meet the colonel.
Maybe another. I mean, it's not really ours, unfortunately.
So it isn't yours. That means it could be mine.
It could, but I mean, you don't want to pet.
You're right. I don't want a pet. She sort of looks round. Nah. Sort of spies a chap.
Have you noticed all those men in the black suits round here? They're not very friendly.
Ooh. She sort of wanders off. I'll go and find them. She looks quite happy, men in black suits. White shirts.
Good thinking.
Yeah, what? Yeah, white shirts.
Big smile on her face. She sort of wanders off. And as you get back together, was it a Piglet dressed as an orange appears? Does a little grunt and disappears in a puff of red smoke and leaves the message. I forgot what. And leaves the message. Actually, it's quite appropriate. Yep.
God.
Two quote from somewhere, but I can't think what it is.
Yeah, you eventually get to the Bull and Bush, and there is a side entrance, as in you don't have to go for the front. Now, English pubs always have two entrances. Anyway,
Beer garden.
well, there's no beer garden, but there's a side entrance.
There should be a bit.
No, not in Almajar there isn't, because the building's all fairly close. The pub's in there, and the landlord sort of looks at you.
Can I use your phone, mate?
Yeah, you can. Is the pig clean?
Yeah, it's been to the loo this morning.
Okay.
I will then ring Major Smith.
Yeah. The phone rings, and after a while it picks up. Good morning. What can I do for you?
We've acquired the parcel. Meet you at the Bull and Bush, like now.
Ah. Did I gather things didn't go as well as you expected?
We have it. Please get here as swiftly as you can. There are other interested parties who are very closely on our tail.
Ah. I'll be there anon. Puts the phone down.
I then go to the bar and buy everyone a pint.
Yep. Real was it English beer, as in it's not cold. It's English beer is never cold. It's sort of even lukewarm. And if it's real ale, it tastes good. And,
Yeah, I feel we've earned this.
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. After a while, was it after about 5 minutes? Was it the Major strides in, and he has a number of the gentlemen with him who sort of scatter. They sort of go to the bar, get sort of use soft drinks, and they sort of do that, and he sort of comes up to you and sits down. I see. So is that the package?
It's been fed and it's been to the toilet this morning.
And that's the thing that's caused all the issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as he said, was it? There's lots of interest. Yeah, there's been an
Here's the
instant.
irony of the whole thing is that the scientist was a con man and he was lying, so
I see.
allegedly, unless it's the final con and he's lying about lying.
Were you involved in the nastiness as at Bien Dios Hotel, Plaza of Flowers, earlier this morning?
We might have swiftly exited just before that.
Well, it seems that a number of gentlemen were sort of, how you say, having a disagreement over a package. Sort of irritates. Yes, some gentlemen with German accents and Italian accents. And was it apparently last night or early this morning there was some, how you say, something from my sources occurred at the Blue Lagoon. Were you anything to do with that?
Well, that's where we found the pig, but everything was fine when we left.
I see why you want to get rid of the pig. I might be able to help you with that. You will owe me a big favour if I do. And unfortunately...
You gave us this job in the first place, my friend.
Yeah, but it's not quite as it should be, if you understand what I mean.
Nothing's as it should be on this island. You should know that by now.
This is true, it's true. He sort of gets an envelope, puts it on the table. I think that was the agreed, was it, value. I think it will take the package with us now, if you understand. So was it you can stay here and finish your pint?
Well, it's either worth, well, basically what that crazy chef wanted for it.
That's what the value is. That's the
if the
he pulls out another envelope.
lying about lying, it could be worth one hell of a lot of money. In
Yeah.
which case,
He pulls out another envelope and puts it on the table.
Oh, I love it.
well, could you at least promise me one thing, which is, if the scientist is lying, be very, very careful what we do with the knowledge that you gain.
As always. Just hand the pig over, I'll get rid of it for you.
Are you happy
Pulls
with
out a
that?
third envelope and drops it on the table.
Wow.
I mean, are you happy to hand it over, guys?
I mean, what are our...
Pulls out a fourth envelope and puts it on the table.
We could always try the Lucy fellow.
Oh, no. No.
Pulls out a fifth envelope and puts it onto the table.
Alright.
You obviously believe that what that man said is true, so...
No. Ample compensation for the troubles you've had.
Well, thank you. If my colleagues are happy, we can hand it over if you want to.
James puts the pig on the table, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. The Major will pick it up. He'll say I'll square it with the, as I said, with the terrible cook.
Yep.
And he sort of walks out the side door. Actually, he doesn't. He will actually hand it to one of the men at the bar, who will walk out the side door, and he'll walk out the front. And the men will follow where the other man, where the piglet went out of the side door.
I vote we just stay here and enjoy our pints for a bit.
Yep. Are you going to count?
Yeah.
Are you going to count the envelopes?
Well, it gave us 5.
Yeah.
So how much is in each one?
$20,000 in each.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we should.
You were originally only going to be given $10,000 for the whole thing.
I feel we've earned the danger money.
As I said,
Absolutely.
the Major always will see you right.
Yeah, we'll split it 3 ways then. So
Yeah.
that's 33 each.
Plus a little extra. Yeah.
Well, you can, take the extra 1,000, Professor, for gas and wear and tear on the car.
I should probably consider getting a new one. Because people know I drive this one, I feel.
Yeah.
The dogs certainly do. Was it tennis balls and toys so far? Okay, I think that is... Yeah, are you going to go back to your office to see if there's actually any of your office left?
Yeah, we should
Right.
probably check on Marie, to be honest.
Yeah.
Still in one piece as well.
Yeah, you go out and they looked, and yeah, you sort of seems to be the men in black seem to have disappeared, and yeah, if you go back, are you driving back to the office or walking?
Driving back now, we haven't got the penny.
This is true. Yep, you're still finding tennis balls in the car. Yeah, as you get to the office, you drive around the back, you sort of notice that there's sort of people sort of watching it, and it's closed.
In the office.
The office that hasn't been opened.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I think I did tell Marie not to open the office until I told her to, which is fine. So it's in one piece, so we can just go home.
Yeah. And yeah, you go home, and yeah, the flat's still there. And was it, yeah, your dog's still there, Bertok's still there, it hasn't been disturbed as far as you know. And you get a knock on the door.
I will answer it. Can I look through the door thing first?
Yeah, it looks like the gentleman at the hotel, as in the German gentleman.
I have the door with the chain on. What?
Am I talking to the Herr Professor Dalton?
You should at least know who you're talking to.
So you're not the Herr Professor then? You do know anything about...
Is he wearing the future German...
No, he just seems to have a coat and the coverall, but he looks very military. So, do you have the piglet?
No. And I shut the door.
It seems to be some swearing outside. And then was it someone going down the hall looking very, you think, sort of stamping and stomping down the corridor. And if you look outside, you'll see, you'll hear some voices, raised voices, as they go towards a set of cars and they drive off at speed. And
That got rid of them for a while.
yeah, I think they'll be looking for someone somehow. Because they were being told. And other than a few other people doing the same thing. Some Italian gentleman sort of knock on the door, ask, is the professor there? You do the same thing, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem to wander off. And the Italians sort of much the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of get into the car.
He is consistency. Whoever knocks on my door and asks about the pig gets consistency.
Yeah, they seem to be the only two that seem to have done it, and they've sort of disappeared off, looking very annoyed at the fact, probably looking for someone.
Yeah, that's fine, son. It's not us.
No, that's it. I think was it you've got you've got rid of the piglet. You've got paid. You didn't get shot. You avoided all the nastiness. They said, as they said, you didn't go to your obvious places, so they couldn't figure out where you were until Mr. Morningstar told them.
Of course he did, because he's bored.
So he told them where you are, where you lived.
Of course he did.
And was it?
He owes us a beer for that.
You really think you're going to get anything out of Mr. Morningstar?
I can try.
And that's
He'll sell you a beer for your soul. That's yeah.
And basically through the day you'll get other things of the story goes that there was a bit of nastiness at the hotel between two groups in the lobby, which ended up with the police force intervening because shots were fired within the hotel between two groups, and a number of people had actually been arrested, saying that one group managed to escape. Round the back? They sort of shot the ways out, and they can't find them.
So was it the Italian mafia guys,
No.
the Germans from the future?
They were German, but you don't know where they were from. They weren't your friend, if you know what I mean. And one more thing.
I wonder if it was ones from this reality. Oh, it was Mr. Morningstar. Yeah, I know what he's done.
He's a little, was it, horror?
I know what he's done.
Well, there were some times he said you could have sold it. I was thinking, yeah, well, you're going to sell it, but you never asked the good doctor who was after it. You never asked him any questions, so you never actually got any more information out of him. They said as you went away, they were close to finding him, as they said. So the Blue Lagoon sort of became another battlefield between the two groups again.
Right.
Yeah, you never asked him any questions. I thought, okay.
I think we're just happy to get it without any fuss.
Yeah. As you gathered, this had got very dangerous for him, and he just wanted rid of it. In the end, as you gathered.
Expecting him to be a con man. That was really cool.
Yeah, I thought in the end it would be much like the other one. I think what would have been the best twist in the end, and that was the best twist, as far as I could say, was that.
Yeah.
Again, you don't know. The major won't actually tell you what happened to the piglet either.
Right.
No.
This time you don't know what happened to the piglet. Just said it.
I mean, previously, the Major's always been a fairly honest player.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the few people use hands to a bit.
Yeah.
It's like,
As you said, even he knew it was hot potato, and sort of made sure that it was suitably guarded. And things are not
Right.
all completed yet, which it will have to be sorted out in the other one. You still have Mr. Hand wandering around, who wants the
Yeah, that's right.
was it artifact that you now have in a certain repository. You have
sort out the dog mafia because that's getting annoying.
yes, you have the dog mafia to sort out. You have the green-eyed lady still wandering around.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes. If you'd taken a little longer, you would have had another encounter with her, but you didn't. What else have you got? Oh yes, and your German friends to do with Product Janus, as in Reality Machine, the one you blew up. And you still have the dinosaur. And you have the mystery of, was it General Falkenhausen, who seems to be linked to, was it a mysterious group of Nazis? So you have a lot to do. I'll work out what XP's, how many dice you get, but I think you're going to have a big wodge, because I've been a bit of remiss with that. And so you can upgrade a lot of your traits, and even buy new ones. And we'll
Awesome.
get